Hello, I'm Elaine Fisher and I'm an outdoor personal coach. And what that means is I walk and talk with people and work with them to find out what they want to do with their lives and how they're going to get there. And why do we do it outdoors? Well, firstly, look, outdoors, fresh air, it just brings everybody out. Big breaths in, it's just great for energy. Secondly, we're in a great inspiring landscape. We're very lucky up here, and that creates and allows people to get really good creative inspirational thinking. Very different thinking to what you might get in an office or in your house or any other place really. And thirdly, it just allows people to open up, and there's something about talking with words in open spaces that allows them just to flow out. We call it words without walls because it just allows, with no judgment, people just to be able to talk. And so today, this is my office. And today, our office is in Grasmere, which is in the heart of the lakes. Beautiful place. And we're going to take instead of walking along with somebody next to me, I'm going along with you. And we're going to talk around the landscape and nature for about 30 minutes. Now, as we're coaching, as well as being just outside, it'd be really good if you could think about something in your life, a situation or something that you might want to move forward, you might want to change, or you just want to have a look. Take that with you as we go around. And also, I'm going to set you a little bit of a challenge. Now, this might make you smile because you might be sitting there on your own. But when I ask the questions and when we have reflections, try and say them out loud. Imagine you're outside and you're having words without walls, because sometimes when we hear ourselves say things, you get a different interpretation. So here we are, we're going to go now. Let's go, and I hope you enjoy. The first place we are is a Creaky Gate, and I'm going to use this. We're going to use lots of metaphors on this walk, and for this one, just allow this gate as we go through to open your mind, to have a go at everything as we go along on our walk. Now, I hope you can see that. There's a beautiful feature here of this river running down to the lake. And there's been a lot of rain in the Lake District this weekend, and that's what the Lake District is. It's raining. And but it's also very, very noisy. There's lots of energy. There's a waterfall there. It's very busy. And I think this could represent your really busy life. And the noise from this. Just reflect, how are you going to just quieten that noise down from your busy babbling life and just focus for the next 30 minutes on you. Give yourself some quiet time and just reflect how you might quieten all the outside pressures down. Place that is really good for the soul, and where we are today is a place called Loughrigg Terrace, and Loughrigg is the fell behind me, and Loughrigg is a beautiful area with many paths, and you can see a really steep path there, and there's the path behind us that we're going to go down. Now it's a really good time because we're going to walk a little way as the landscape opens up. It's a really good time just to think through, what do you want to get out of these 30 minutes? What situation are you going to think about? And at the end, what's your destination? What's the destination for your path? And I mentioned there that Loughrigg was a fell. Fell's the name for hills and mountains in the Lake District. Just a local word for a hill. Okay, we're going to walk for a while now, just have a think. Just as the landscape opens up, I thought it'd be nice just to talk about how it feels at the moment. We've got quite a breeze blowing, but it's a beautiful day for October. Sun's shining, got a few clouds, but to be here in this just fresh air, breeze blowing across the terrace, it just feels wonderful. Kindly put some benches here which we're going to sit, because we're going to have a look at the scenery.
Morning.
Morning. Does that make you feel fit? Having somebody run by? Just let these people run by. Lots of activities obviously take place in the lakes. Great for outdoor activity. So we're going to have a sit for a while and just look at this wonderful scenery here and this landscape. And what I want you to look at when you look round is that if you can see the bowl of the fells around the lake. So this is Grasmere Lake, and just look at that sky as well. The sky and the weather makes such a difference to the Lake District. And we focus at the end of the lake, you can see a little white church. That is actually the village of Grasmere, and that's where Wordsworth was buried. And it's interesting to think that 300 years ago, Wordsworth would be walking around these same hills, these same tracks, creating his poetry. And there's a bit of constancy in that, a bit of stability. But I also want you to look at the fells. These hills, as we go around, they have wonderful names. They have Silver Howe, Helm's Crag, that's called the Lion and the Lamb as well, Steel Fell, Seat Sandal. There's one over there that I just love the name of called Dollywagon Pike, Heron Pike. Wonderful names of our beautiful fells. And obviously the lake itself with the island in the middle, absolutely beautiful. And we were talking earlier about that situation that you have in your life that you want to look at. And I wondered if you could use the language of the landscape to actually think through how it applies to your situation. So you could use things like peaks and troughs. What are the peaks and troughs in your situation? Do the mountains look like challenges to climb? Or do they look like the fixed, immovable objects that you really want to stay in your life? You've got the flow of the water. Do you have is it a really deep issue? Is it a surface issue? Are things moving? So just think for a little bit about what does your situation, what does it feel like in the language of the lakes? And also, once you've done that, I want you to think about your new situation, where you want to be, what changes you want to make, and just let this runner go by. What changes you want to make, what would that look like? How would the landscape change in your new situation? Would it have more community in it, more villages? Would those mountains become lower, or would they become higher because it's a bigger, exciting challenge? What would the sky look like? Would it be blue skies, or would it be a blowy wind? What season would it be? Because obviously the seasons change all the time, and with that change comes really good things. And it might be good to reflect on the changes that you've had for the last year. So lots and lots of questions there. The main thing is to think about where you are now, but have a really good, clear picture about where you want to be, and hold that in your head as that really beautiful vision. So we're going to walk along now, and we'll probably walk in silence for a bit, and you can hear what's going on in the landscape, and just think about those questions. You've got some paper there, jotting down some answers. And you could probably hear more water, and there's another stream coming in. We call those becks in the Lake District. And there's a stream coming across the path, and it's flowing down. Now, it's quite noisy with the stream, so we're just going to walk down here a bit and find another bench and have another chat. One more stream. There's another main stream coming down. And what those streams coming across the track there has made me realise is we're obviously into autumn, the weather's getting wetter, and if you look at the lake and you look around the lake, all these streams now are really filling up with the weather, and all the water is really pouring into the lake. And if you think of the thousands of streams and the amount of water rushing down into the lake and what that is doing to the lake. Now I want you to imagine that this bowl of fells is your world and you are the lake. You're in the middle of this whole landscape. This is your landscape. And you've got all these pressures and life pouring into you, some of it really good and it's nurturing you and supporting you, but some of it probably outside influences all coming in. And the way the lake deals with this is, I don't know if you can see here, is down the bottom to the right hand side is the River Rothhay. As you can see just by the trees on the right, the bottom right, the River Rothhay spills away from the lake, and the lake just pours out through the Rothhay. And what it makes you realise is what kind of things do you want to hold on to, but to get to your destination where you want to be, what do you have to let go? Now we're going to walk on for a while, and that's actually quite a big question. Just think about all the things you need to let go to give you space to do the things you want to do. So we're going to carry on walking. Probably a good time now just to think about weather, and we mentioned weather makes such a big difference to the Lake District. And there's a quote that sometimes people attribute to Billy Connolly, other times it's to Shackleton, and it says there's no such thing as bad weather, there's just inadequate clothing. And that can mean a number of things, and in this Mindspace week, and when you think about our 5 ways to wellbeing, it can be about personal resilience. How are we going to really make ourselves strong enough to understand, to just weather all those things that we might come across. Also, to me though, it means preparation. How are we going to prepare for the things and the obstacles that we know are coming up? So there's whole much things in there that can help you withstand whatever weather comes your way. Now we're coming to another different ways we can go on the different paths, and it's a really good time to think about. You've had a good think through all those things that that for your situation might make a difference, and all those changes that you might want to put in place. And you've got to choose a path now, and your path might be uphill, and therefore you might want to think about, what does that mean? Do you need to slow down a little bit so you can pace yourself to get up those challenges? It might be straight but rocky, and again, how are you going to prepare? Or it might be a really easy path, and you can see your way through and you're going to do it tomorrow. But now's the time to just think about how are you going to put those actions into place, and what steps do you need to take? Looking after Jim, our cameraman, now, because there's now mountain bikes out. It's obviously a really popular place here, and
Morning.
lovely morning.
Morning.
Hello, morning. We'll carry on. The Lakes is a really wonderful place for people to get out running, mountain biking. Now we're going to leave the big open space of the landscape, and we're going to walk down and through a wood and just go from big scale to just bring it in to a bit more focus around the wood, and how different that can be when you focus in. We wander into the woods and all of a sudden the atmosphere changes. We can hear bird song, it gets strangely quieter, and we're just going to walk on for a while, but just listen to what you can hear in the wood. So I hope you could hear how quieter and hushed it's gone. We haven't got that wind blowing, it's really calm. And in your lives, it'd be just to think, where's your calm space? Where you've got all these plans now that you might want to take forward, how are you going to create that really calm time just for you? And when we walked down there, you walked actually through quite a few oaks, and I picked up an acorn. And there's lots of metaphors we can use around trees. But from mighty oaks, from little acorns grow. Where are you planting your little acorns to make you grow into the person you want to become, or the changes you want to make? And oaks have the deepest roots of any of our native trees. And so how are you nourishing your roots to make you stable? And when you face any of those obstacles that we talked about earlier, how you get into the root cause of them. Trees and woods are just laced through our language because they're beautiful places. So now we're going to head on back down to the River Rothay, and just think about all those things of bringing it together, what your situation was, the change you wanted to make, how you're looking after what you take on and you let flow out, and how you're going to create that action plan and give yourself time and space. And we're just going to walk straight down the wood now, listen to the birds. So we come to the end of our walk, and we finished with the River Rothay. You saw that from up on Loughrigg Terrace. And there is a quote that you can never stand in the same river twice, and that's because the river moves and you move on. And I hope you found things in this talk with that inspirational landscape that help you move on, and I hope you've enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you again. Thank you very much.